Good morning, 8th graders. It's a great Monday. I'm looking out the window and looking at the rain and thinking, perfect. It's a perfect day for learning inside, right? Sitting at a computer and doing some distance learning, rock on. So I am assigning you today an assignment about rhombi, so rhombuses and squares. It's very simple. This is our unit where we're just checking out this whole concept of coordinate geometry, where we put some geometry on the coordinate plane and do some, formulas to just prove what the quadrilateral is. So we already learned that a parallelogram can be proved as a parallelogram in a variety of ways. One is that both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. One is that both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. One is that one pair of sides is congruent and parallel. And let me just check my little sheet here. The diagonals bisect each other. So they don't have to be congruent, but if they bisect each other, if the diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, then it is a parallelogram. And obviously the definition of a parallelogram, which is a quadrilateral in which both sides are parallel. So if you can prove any of those things, then you've got a parallelogram, okay? In order to prove a rhombus, you have a couple of options. One is that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So not only do they bisect each other, but they are perpendicular. So if you already have proven a parallelogram, then you can just show that the diagonals have, their slopes are the negative reciprocal, and that would prove that it is a rhombus. If you want to focus on the sides, then you can prove that the sides are parallel, and then you can do two things. You can either prove that all four sides are congruent without even proving them parallel. So the definition of a rhombus is a quadrilateral with four congruent sides. Or you can actually prove that two consecutive sides, so consecutive means in a row, so not opposite sides, but consecutive sides. So if I prove this side on the top is congruent to this side on one of the sides, and it's a parallelogram, then it's a rhombus. So I've just asked you to do two problems. You choose whatever way you want to prove whether they are, and you're supposed to say all of them, right? Any or all. So is this a rhombus? Is this a rectangle? Is this a square? Of course, rectangles and squares mean right angles or perpendicular sides, and that's going to be proven using slope. So this slope should be the negative reciprocal of this slope. You can prove it however you want. I will post an answer key, and the answer key will be the way I chose to prove it. So if you have any questions about that, then you can go ahead and contact me and ask. In the meantime, I hope that you're doing great, and I look forward to someday seeing you in person. I think that would feel a little bit like a miracle right now. So have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.